It's Jennifer from Happiness is Homemade For, and Merry Christmas in July. Alright, this is my very first Christmas in July, so I am so excited for this video. So today, we are going to make an elf Christmas wreath, and this is the best time of year to do it because you need a witch hat from Dollar Tree. So that's why I'm so happy to do this, because if we waited until like November or December, you would not be able to find a witch hat. So this is the perfect time. That way when these start to come out at Dollar Tree, you know to grab you 1 or 2 or 10. This right here makes the cutest little elf wreath. So I'm so excited to share that with you. Alright, so the supplies that you're going to need. Like I said, one of the witch hats. So I'm going to do a green elf wreath. So I have a row of green deco mesh from Dollar Tree. And then I also have 2 rows of red and 2 rows of white deco mesh. You're going to need pipe cleaners. I would prefer to use white, but I can't find my white. So I'm just going to use some green pipe cleaners. You can use whatever color you want. So I just have some green ones. I'm also going to use wire cutters. You're going to want some good sharp scissors. I'm going to use a ruler. And I love using zip ties. I do not hot glue on my wreath. So I'm going to use zip ties and pipe cleaners to hold everything together. I have some jingle bells from Dollar Tree. And then I have the cutest little elf legs. These are so cute. These are from Hobby Lobby. Let's see. They're normally $6.99. Wait until you can get these like when they're 40 or 50% off, which you know will be here before you know it. Hobby Lobby's already getting in some of their Christmas stuff. So I don't know if they have these just yet. Mine are from last year. But now you know what to look for. And last year, Dollar Tree had some little elf legs. So if you were lucky enough to find those, you could use that too. Alright, so I am going to adjust the camera. That way you can see exactly what we are going to do. And I had to wear my little, my elf sweatshirt for the day. And it lights up. So we were like full on Christmas in July. Alright, for starters, you want to get all of this tinsel completely off your witch hat. So just start unwinding your hat. Okay, so just start like unwinding all of this tinsel off of your hat. You can also, if it's quicker, you can just kind of like reach in there and just start cutting it too. Whatever you want to do, unwind it, cut it, just the quickest way to get it all off there for you. Alright, so once you have all of that tinsel taken off there, and now I take wire cutters. These were like $2 at Walmart. So what I do is I go around and I cut off all of these little prongs along the whole entire outside of the wreath. So all you do, just kind of hold your witch hat however that's easiest for you. And I just take my little clippers here and I just cut all of these little tips off. Just cut them all the way off and they're going to kind of fly across the room. So I just go around and just cut all of these off. Okay, so I'll cut all these off real quick and then we will move on. Okay. Alright, so you see I have all of these going around the outside cut off. I am going to go ahead and like snip these on the inside too, just really quick. Alright, so now all of those little like prongs around the edges and right there on the inside have been cut off. Alright, so like I said, I want my my elf hat to be this really pretty Christmas green from Dollar Tree. And this is the stuff they carry this year round. This isn't like the Christmas one, like that is. Like that's the Christmas from last year. This is just year round the green they always have. Alright, so here is how I do mine. I'm just going to take out some of this deco mesh and I just take the end and I just kind of pinch it all together. Just kind of get it all lined up. Just kind of like fold it all together right there. And I'm going to come up here to the tip, to the top of my little hat. And I'm going to hold it right there. I'm now gonna take a zip tie. I'm gonna push it through the deco mesh. It's like right here on the tip, that plastic. All right, so I'm just gonna push that through all that deco mesh right there. See, just like going. So I just went in right here. It's around this little black end of the hat. So I'm now gonna take my zip tie and I'm gonna zip it and lock that into place. Just like that, getting it good and tight. All right, so now that is attached. That's not going anywhere. All right, so now we'll take and clip off all that excess tail because I do not need that. Okay, so now you're left with this. All I do for this, I just push it like towards the back of my hat and kind of like in the inside of it. Okay, so see, it's pushed into the hat. All right, now what I do is I now take this and I'm going to start wrapping it around the hat. Okay, you can kind of take your little mesh that's sticking up right here on the top, just kind of hold that down, and then just start taking your whatever color mesh you want to use. I'll fold it over in half, just like that. And then I will just start twisting. And I will kind of go over each spot a couple times. That way you don't see the black frame through it. And you can always paint your frame. You can like spray paint it white or whatever, you know, like if you've got green spray paint, red spray paint. Yeah, but all I do is just hold it and twist it. You know, just kind of pull that snug and then just keep wrapping my little witch hat around this frame, around my mesh. And I'll show you when we're done that you won't even see the black through it. In half, like that, that way it kind of like thickens it up a little bit. And I just keep twisting and pulling. I said, you do, you know, whatever the best and easiest for you. This is just what I've kind of like learned that works best for me. Okay. So like I said, I just keep twisting until I get down to the bottom of this little witch hat, which pretty much will be all of my mesh. All right, so I'm gonna take that, I'm gonna wrap it around. So right here, I've got a little bit left. I'm just gonna go ahead and end it. And what I do is, okay, so look at that, look how good that looks. You do not see that black through that at all. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this right here. I'm gonna take another zip tie. All of this right here that I have ended, I'm gonna zip tie it around this black bar. Any of these little black bars right here. Okay, so I'm gonna hold that down. I'm gonna wrap my zip tie. I'm gonna push it through there. See, like right here where my finger is. I'm gonna push it through there. I'm gonna put all that mesh down into it. I'm gonna fold my zip tie up around it. And then I'm going to pull that. I'm pulling my deco mesh tight, and I'm gonna zip tie that as tight as I can get it. Just like that. So you see, look, can you even see that? That is zip tied on there. That's not going anywhere. So once again, I'm gonna cut off that tail. I don't need that. Okay, and then once again, I'll push that kind of down into my little witch hat, or my little hat. Okay, so I don't need all of this. I am gonna trim off a chunk of it. Okay, just like that. Now I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna push this up into the hat. So right here, I'm gonna take it and I'm just gonna push that up inside of the hat. Just kind of tucking it up in there. I like to make sure I leave a good tail, that way nothing can like work its way out. So that's nice and long and it's tucked up in there. So you do not even see that. All right, so there is the front of our wreath. Look how good that looks, of our hat. And there's the back. The back looks just as good as the front. So that it's always really important to me is to have it beautiful all the way around. Okay. All right, now For our packages of the red and the white mesh, what I do is, so here's the great thing about crafting. You're gonna do what's best for you. Anybody you watch is probably gonna do it different than I do. But what I do is, my trick to make things go faster and easier for me is I take my row, I take a ruler, just a basic ruler. I hold the top of the deco mesh to the top of that ruler, and then I wrap this mesh, this whole row of mesh, I'm gonna wrap around my ruler. And that is gonna cut 12-inch pieces. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna hold it, I just kind of pinch it, okay. Lay your mesh out, I pinch it, and then I just flip my ruler. I just flip it constantly around that ruler. Okay, so you see my ruler's inside there? All I'm gonna do is just keep flipping this mesh around that ruler. So all I have to do is 2 total cuts. That'll be it, versus having to cut, measure and cut each single piece. Okay, so like I said, I'm just gonna keep twisting and wrapping it around this ruler. All right, so at the end of this, I'm now gonna take sharp scissors. I'm gonna stick it inside this bundle. See, straight inside there. I take my scissors, I'm gonna pull straight up to the air, nice and snug, and I'm just gonna cut straight across. Just like that. Okay, so now I have that cut. Now, as I'm holding the ruler, so now I have all of that. I'm gonna lay that down with my ruler inside of it. All right, so the end of my ruler, I'm now just gonna cut straight across there. All right. Now, each single piece may not be exactly 12 inches, but that's okay. But look at that. But look at that. 2 cuts, and I have that whole row already cut up for me. See? Work smart, not hard. So just like that. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'll show you one more. Okay, so white, I just open it up. I'm gonna take my ruler, line it up with the top of the mesh. Like I said, once again, I'm gonna hold the top of my ruler. And I'm just gonna start, I'm gonna pinch it, and I'm just gonna start flipping this ruler around my mesh. Like I said, by doing this, all I have to do is 2 cuts. That's it. Okay, so there's all of that wrapped around my ruler, which is still inside there. Take my scissors. Okay, I'm gonna stick it right in here. I'm gonna pull with my scissors straight up into the air. Okay, and now I'm just gonna cut straight across as I'm kind of like pulling up. Look, all that just got cut. Now I will lay this down. Okay, so now I got that laid out just like that. Now I will take my scissors and I'm gonna cut straight. Set that down, so it's something kind of heavy on your end. And now the end of my ruler, I'm just gonna cut straight across right there. And all of those are cut. All right, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna do the exact same thing to these 2 really quick. All right, so I now have 2 rows of the red all cut up at 12 inches. And then I have the 2 rows of the white cut at 12 inches. All right, so now you need now, pipe cleaners. What I do is I take my pipe cleaner and I cut it in half. It does not have to be exactly, you don't have to like measure it, just kind of eyeball it and just cut that in half. And you want 25 little pipe cleaners. So basically, take your 13 pipe cleaners and cut them in half. You'll just have like 1 extra, but you never know, you may need it for something. Okay. So I got all these right here. I'm gonna kind of like open them up a little bit. All right, so I'm just gonna hold those like that, kind of eyeball it, and then I'm just gonna cut them in half. Like I said, you don't have to measure this. You just want them smaller. So I just cut it 1 pipe cleaner in half. Okay. Now what you wanna do is you wanna take 1 red and 1 white. And we're gonna make the ruffles for our hat. Okay. So what I do is I lay out, put your wire cutters or scissors at the top. I take my little mesh piece, I take it, I roll at the end, just a little row, and then I do what I call a spider crawl. I pinch it right here in the center, and then I take my fingers, just like that, and I pinch all the way up to the top. Okay. When I get to the end, like that, you just let it kind of row a couple times, and then you pinch it, and you have this cute little bundle. Look at that little row, or that little bow. So by looping it like that, see that? It doesn't fray a lot on you because it'll all be on the inside. So take that. What I do with this, I take it, I put it between my thumb and my forefinger, and I hold it. Now I'm gonna do the same thing with my white one. Okay, so I take the white, I let the ends row just a little bit, I pinch it, and I let my fingers do the little spider crawl all the way, and then at the end I let that row a couple times, and then I pinch it, just like that. Now take this right here, you put these together and you kind of crisscross them. Don't just lay them on top of each other like that. I always like crisscross it. Okay. Now I'm going to take 1 of my little pipe cleaners. You go right across the center of your bundle. Okay. Just like that. I take that, I now pull that up, just like that. Okay, so turn it over, and there's your little legs, your little tails. I give it a little, tight little pinch, and then I twist it really good, really tight, like 3 or 4 times. Okay. And then look, you have this little bundle. All right, so I got my mesh laid out. I got my little wire cutters just to kind of hold it down. What I do is I take the end and I let it kind of row twice. That way I get my little loop. I pinch it right here in the center, and I'm gonna take my fingers and I'm pinching and doing like the spider crawl. All right, so it's pinched, and I take my fingers and I walk it all the way up like a little spider, and I take my end and I let that row so it looks just like that. Same thing, take this white one, kind of roll that out. Okay, I take my end, I let that get a good little row on it. You see the little loop right there? Now I pinch it right there in the center, and I let my fingers pinch and walk all the way up it. Okay. And when I get up here, I let that also row, and then I pinch it. You see the little rows? Okay, so while that's pinched, I take these and I crisscross them, just like that. Okay, and then I take my little pipe cleaner, I lay it right across the center of all of these, pull it around to the back, I flip that up, I'm right there with my little tail, give it a good, tight little twist. And there is my little bow. All right, so I like to mix it up. These have like white on the top. So now I'm gonna do some with the red on the top. So I will do my white first. Okay, so I got my white. I'm gonna let my little ends do a little row. I'm gonna pinch it in the center, and then my fingers are gonna like walk, do a little spider crawl up towards the top. And then I will let that end row a couple times. And I'm going to pinch that together. And pinch that together. So now I'll hold that right there between my thumb and pointer. I'm going to do the same thing with the red one. So I take the red, I'll at the end do a little row. I pinch it right in the center. And now I'll do my little spider crawl and go all the way up. And go up. And then I let my end do a couple little rows. And then I pinch it. Okay. Now I take the red on top of the white, crisscross it, and then take a or my pipe cleaner, lay it right across the center. Take that, push all that up. Do it just like that. There's my little tails, tight little pinch, and then some good tight twist. Okay. So now I have the red on top. So I'm gonna sit this over here with the red on the top. This over here is the white. All right, so I adjusted the angle a little bit here. So I now have 12 bundles with the white and the red on top. So I got 12 of these over here. On this side, I have 12 with the red on the bottom and the white on top because I like to switch. I like to do every other. That way it's not just all white on the top. I do white, red, white, red. You'll see what I'm talking about. But okay, here's what you do. We are gonna start any corner, wherever you wanna start at. We're gonna start right over here. You're just gonna pick up one of your bundles, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your little tails, you're gonna wrap it around that little plastic, around the little frame, just right there. Okay, so now we'll pull that snug, and I'm gonna give that some good, tight twist. I like to do like 3, 4, sometimes 5 little twists. Okay, and it looks like that. So, okay, now you can, if you want, as you're working, cut your tails off. Okay, so you see, I have it twisted. Now at the very end of my twist, like my last little twist that I did, I'm going to put my wire cutters, and I'm just going to cut at the end of my last little twist. Okay, and it leaves me with this little like nub, that little nubbin right there. And all I do, I'm just going to push that to the side, kind of like down into my wreath, just like that. So you can either do it as you go or wait until you're completely finished, then cut them all. So you'll see, like right here. All right, so let me hold this so you can see it. All right, so this little section right here, and what I call section is in between each of the little crossbars. So just like this would be a section, that's a section, that's a section. So this little section right here, I'm gonna put a total of 2 bundles of ribbon. Okay, so I got the white and the red. Now I'm gonna take another one with the red on top. Now I'm gonna put it right next to this one. I'm just gonna wrap my little pipe cleaners around the little bar. Okay, here's the back side, right next to it so you can see it. And I'm gonna get some good, tight little twist to that one. Okay, and you see how that looks right there? So I have 2 right there in that one little section. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna cut off my tails. Okay, and I'll just kind of push that down into the wreath. Right there, just kind of push it straight down into the little hat. All right, so now my next little section, this little bar right here, I'm going to do 2 more little bundles right there on that little bar. Okay, so that one had the red on top. I'm now going to come over here and I'm going to grab one with the white on top. You just stick it in there. Okay, you're going to like slide it down. And then once again, some good tight twist. I'm gonna grab one more over here on this side with the red on top. And once again, I'm gonna wrap it around that same little bar. Just like that. And good tight twist. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna trim these up. Like I said, I cut above my last little twist. So you see how those are like sticking up? All I do is just kind of push them down, just kind of bend them a little bit. Just like that. See how nice and clean that looks? All right, so you see, here's what it looks like on this side. Now over here, I have 2 in this little section. I have 2 on that section, which would be this right here, if you were to look at it. Okay, so now I do not put anything on the bottom. I go straight now to the inside. This inside bar is where we're now gonna put the rest of our little bundles. So, you see how that's just like that? I'm now gonna kind of move my mesh out of the way, and I'm now gonna start filling this little bar on the inside. I'm gonna put 2 more little bundles right there on this bar, this little inside bar. So what I do is I just kind of move that right there out of my way so it exposes. See, it's exposing that little bar for me right there. Okay. So I just take the ends of my little pipe cleaners, I just go right over top, right around that little bar, just like that. I turn it around to the back so I can get to it. Okay, and once again, I just give it some good, tight little twist. Okay. So I got 1 there. I'm gonna grab 1 more of the opposite color. Okay. So now once again, got my little bar exposed. I'm gonna put my little tails around it. And then once again, good, tight little twist. All right, so you got 2 here, 2 there, and now 2 on this inside little bar. Okay, so these sections up here have 2. Now, this section right here, this one, and this one are gonna get 3 bundles. So we'll get 3 bundles inside each of these little sections right here. All right, so now I've got my long, so you see I've got my long tails. I'm gonna take my wire cutters and I'm gonna cut off those long tails right above my last twist. All right, see? Look how nice it's already looking. And here's the front. Look at the front already. Look how pretty. Okay, so once again, I'm gonna go ahead. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna do 3 here, 3 here, and then we'll kind of move on. Okay, so you see I've got 3, 3, and 3. Now we're gonna come right here and we're gonna do 2. So we're gonna put 2 bundles here, 2 bundles there, and then we're gonna come around and do 2 and 2. Okay. All right, so right here, I'm gonna do 2 and 2, and then we'll be done with this part. Okay, just wrap it around that one. Okay, grab another one. All right, your final little bar, this right here going right against the hat, you're gonna squeeze 2 more in there. All right, so once again, you just kind of move all this mesh out of your way just so you can get to your little bar. So you see it's like right there against the hat. I'm gonna put 2 bundles right there. Okay, so I'm gonna work 1 more in there. And this one's gonna go like right up against the hat. Okay, so now I will just cut those tails off. All right, so see, that is totally filled in now. We just went around the top and then came straight through the middle. There is nothing attached to the bottom, nothing at all. So now we're gonna turn it around. And then now you just need to fluff it. Just kind of like grab your fingers, like kind of like this. Just kind of like pull apart, and you're just fluffing it for where it's kind of been smashed, laying, you know, face down. Okay, look how this looks so far, and we are not done with this. But look at all that, how fluffy and full and pretty this is right here. Look at that. Look how full that is. Okay, now we're gonna add the little elf legs. All right, here's what I do. I take my little elf legs, and you see how it's got the long stem. The long stem. What I do is I turn my little elf head over, kind of decide, if there's like a front or a back to your little legs and feet. What I do is I take this, I look right in the center, and then right up through my hat, I'm gonna take this, and I'm gonna go very slowly and just work my way through the hat all the way up until my little legs hit where my mesh is. Okay, so just kind of want to make sure that my little legs are pretty much centered. Okay. You can either take a pipe cleaner or a zip tie, whatever you want. I take this right here. All right, this bar, the top little bar right here, I just take my little pipe cleaner, and I'm gonna wrap around that black bar, kind of like, okay, so now this is wrapped. All right, so when inside that black bar, this is now under that black bar. So I got my little legs. So right here around this white little stem, I'm now gonna do this really tight twist around that black bar and that white stem. Okay, so I got that. Once again, my wire cutters. Got that. I got that little bitty little stem. I would just kind of bend that around. Okay, and I'm gonna do one more right here on the bottom, like right there, this little bottom bar. I'm gonna do one more around this white stem. There's that one. Now once again, you may be able to see this one easier. My little legs, little black bar. I'm just gonna take this pipe cleaner. I'm gonna go under and around. Okay, so I am on opposite sides of this black bar right here. Now I'm gonna, once again, some good tight twist around that white stem. Okay, I'll cut those off. Once again, I'm gonna take that little end right there, and I'm just gonna bend it down and kind of like around. Look, you shake that. That's not going anywhere. Those little legs are attached. Okay, so now I'm gonna do. I have so now I'm gonna take a white, a red, crisscross them. I'm gonna take another white, and I'm gonna crisscross it, and I'm gonna take another red and kind of like crisscross it. So it almost looks like a peppermint. Do you see that? Now I'm gonna take one of my little pipe cleaners, and I'm gonna take a green jingle bell from Dollar Tree. I wish I had gold, I can't find my gold ones, so I'm gonna use the green. And the little loop on the back, I'm just gonna fish my little pipe cleaner straight through that little loop on the back. See? And that's attached. So now I'm just gonna take this, I'm gonna lay the bell right across the center of this bundle right here. And I'm gonna wrap my pipe cleaners around this whole entire bundle. Okay, just like that. Now, I'm going to grab this, kind of pull that all upside down, get that all together. There's my tails. Good, pull that tight. Good, tight little twist. All right, so that is what that looks like. All that red, white, and then that little green right there. You're gonna take the top of your witch hat, okay, right here, that little plastic bar on the end. I'm now gonna take one end of my pipe cleaner. I'm gonna push it through the deco mesh on the top, and I'm gonna go all the way through that, and I'm gonna push it through to the back side. See that popping out? That just popped out the back. All right, so now I'm gonna take this pipe cleaner, turn this around so you can see it. Okay. All right, so this is the tip of the frame, that black piece of the frame. I'm now gonna give some good, tight little twist around that. Once again, I will cut above my last twist. Okay. Now, once again, you get that little bitty piece. All I do, I push that and then just kind of bend it and push it down inside that wreath, like right inside that mesh. See? So flat, you can't even tell that was there. Okay, now for my little legs, you can either just kind of keep them straight or you can kind of give them a little bend. So they're like, their little legs are kicking out. Like, woohoo! All right, so now, because I want this to be a door hanger, I want it to be like a wreath. Okay, so you got the tip of your wreath, so you're gonna kind of come down about like where it curves. And on the black, that outside that bar, you can feel it because it's hard. You're just gonna take out your pipe cleaner. You're gonna push straight through the front. Okay, and you're gonna work your way up through the back. Just around that little bar right there. Okay. So you'll take your ends, you're gonna make a little bitty X. And with your X, you're gonna now do some tight twist on the end right here. And then just kind of give that a little bend. Pull it, kind of loop it through. And then you've got your little hanger. Okay, do you see how cute this is? And y'all, it is so easy. It's a little like time consuming, but it's so easy. And once you get the hang of this, you can make several and it would make a wonderful gift. But I love it. And when I do like my craft shows, like my little craft fairs, this is like one of my best sellers. And you can do different colors. Sometimes I'll do a red like hat, and then I'll do green and white down here. I'll do like red, white, and green. Just kind of like mix it up. Hobby Lobby has the little green shoes, but they also have the little red shoes. So I kind of like to mix that up too. Like if I'm doing like a red hat, I'll do like the red and white little shoes. And you can get as creative and like fancy as you want with this. You can add some ribbon to it. You can add like peppermint, some little holly, you know, whatever you want to like make it your own. But I just think it's so cute. And the little jingle bell at the top is just like that little extra little touch to it. And it's our little door hanger. So this little piece that we added on fits perfectly right over one of the little hooks. All right, but I just want to show you once again. See the back? All right, I just want to show you. All right, see the back? I love for my back to be neat and clean. You know, almost just as nice as the front. Because especially us, like we have a glass front door. So whatever is hanging on our door, you see the back of it. So that's why I like everything to be nice and clean. And if I sell something to somebody, I want it to be perfect for them. All right, but let me know what you think. I have made, of course, Christmas elves. I have made witches with it. I've done scarecrows with it. This little witch hat, the little tinsel hat from Dollar Tree, you can do so many cute wreaths with it. You can make a cornucopia with it. There's just so many ideas. You can make a gnome. So when you see the little black tinsel witch hats when they come out for, you know, like Halloween, grab you a couple. Because you can really make some cute wreaths with them, and it doesn't have to be Halloween. Like I said, I did Christmas, and I love making scarecrows out of them. So too, just to kind of give you an idea, if you're someone who loves to like make and sell things, at my craft fairs, I would sell these for $25. I would probably charge $30 now because of inflation. I mean, even Dollar Tree's gone up. You know, everything has gone up in price, and that quarter, it adds up. So just when you're making something to sell, just kind of think about that and how much time it took you to make it. Yeah, so if you made something like this, you definitely can get like 30 bucks out of it. But, I love it. It's so cute. So, all right, if you love like wreaths and different things, I don't really make a lot on my channel because it is so, it's time consuming and the videos can take longer for you to watch. But if you enjoy this kind of stuff and you would like to see more, let me know. You know, hit that thumbs up because those thumbs up, you know, to you it may not mean anything, but to me and YouTube who like puts my channel out there, it means a lot to them. But alright, that was my first Christmas in July, and I think it was a cute one to do for my very first time. Alright, I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye guys. Thanks for watching.